In the last episode of Deadman's Deliveries, I unboxed the Ultimate Edition of the new undisputed WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre. Today it is the turn of Umaga and Eddie Guerrero, so let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to what I believe to be episode 126 of Deadman's Deliveries. Now, you would have seen / heard in the intro that today I'll be unboxing both the Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero and Umaga, two guys that I already have figures with but did need upgrades for, and that's what we've got today. The Eddie Guerrero, not so much. This is a nice figure, but this Umaga, as you can see, is in a bit of an unconventional pose because he cannot stand up, which is a bit of a flaw of figures with no actual shoes on them, but it is a nice figure nonetheless. I suppose that's why I've got two of them. I don't know which way the sort of skirt, whatever you want to call it, I don't know what the real word for it is. Ties. I've got them tied both ways around. I think it's this way around, but anyway, yeah. I'll probably be selling one of, if not both of them. So if you're interested in this figure, let me know in the link. Let me know in the comments or message me on Vinted in the link below or on eBay, whatever's better for you. But yeah, just a quick look at the figure. You got the nice red and white skirt, tattoo detailing, red Umaga, and then red Umaga in different ways. But yeah, there you have it. As for the Eddie Guerrero, pretty nice figure. Double jointed arms. It's elite like 95 or something, but the head scan isn't great, and it's also in that like very tan Latino skin tone, which just isn't really accurate. But yeah, as not always, but for the most part, usually at least, we are going to get started with the accessories, more specifically the interchangeable hands. So Eddie just beats Umaga with 3 sets of interchangeable hands on this one, all with the white wrist tape. So we start off with a set of white wrist taped fist hands, and then we also, I've done this the wrong way around, but we get a set of open palm hands, followed by the pose, the 3 fingers, the Musa Dembele, some people would call it, the 3-finger pose hands. Umaga then has 2 sets of hands, 3 including the ones already on him. So he's got, oh, steady. He's got the grasping hands with a bit of tattoo detailing and the wrist tape / thumb tape there. And then he has the thumbs up / Samoan spike hands. So that's that. As for the interchangeable heads, they are even with two spares, and then obviously the one on their actual head. So you've got the wry smile, the little smirk of Eddie. The hair looks really nice. Very good likeness. Some like little marks on it annoyingly, but yeah, the sort of frosted tips, the highlights there, really nice. And then you have the really big laugh, which you can just picture, really, can't you? Then we get into Umaga's, in which he has a very nice pissed off teeth gritted head scan, which looks really good with the hair in the face, and then the even more pissed off screaming / shouting head scan, which I think that is just a phenomenal likeness. I'm really like the look of both of those scans. So we do get cloth goods with both of these figures, starting off with the infamous, very, very nice Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero t-shirt, Addicted to the Heat, with it says Eddie Guerrero at the top with the G and the crown for Guerrero, of course. There is Eddie on the front with the shirt, the microphone, and the undisputed title he famously won from Brock Lesnar. And then here is a very, very nice cloth goods skirt, which is a much needed upgrade from the harder, it's not too hard, but the harder plastic red and white one. But I'll try both on the figure. But yeah, this is really nice with the lighter designs and more in-depth stuff. Finally, the accessories we come with for Umaga, the final one was his Intercontinental Championship. You can't tell it's his because the nameplate is blank, which I don't mind. But yeah, nice to have a new oval Intercontinental Championship. I don't think many people are a huge fan of this. I think I'm quite biased to the Ruthless Aggression era. It's my favorite era of wrestling personally, and I really like pretty much all of the belts. I'm quite biased to the spinner belt, obviously a very infamous title, but I really like the spinner belt. The World Heavyweight title really nice. The US title is yeah, it's pretty nice. I like the US title as well. The IC title, the tag titles. Those Raw tag titles are some of my favorite tag titles ever. Probably is my favorite tag title ever. So that is Umaga's final accessory, and then Eddie gets a really unique one: the cowbell, the strap, so you can actually put a hand of each guy in there for a strap match, cowbell match. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah. So that is that. Now let's get into the figures, starting off with the Latino Heat. Here he is in all his glory. Let's zoom out a little bit for Eddie Guerrero. Wow, what a figure. So we got it's sort of a dull gold. It's not really gold. It's kind of like beigey. It's not really proper gold, and black, like flame designs, the flame lace up, the black lace up boots, sorry, with the purple background of the tights. You got the red flames going all up the sides with the golden cross sort of tied up there. And then on the back, you get Latino in the gold. Very, very nice. Hit the chest. This is a phenomenal figure. If I actually was bothered and managed to get my finger out and do a top 10 figures of the year from last year, this would have absolutely been in it and very near to the top. We got the white wrist tape and hand tape. I thought I saw a tattoo there on the left arm. Seems to be it's the same sort of cross design that's on the legs. Nice torso. I think it's a good size for Eddie, much better than his other Ultimate Editions, which were just huge. And then here is the final scan. The smile, less of a cheeky smile, it's just a normal smile as opposed to the smirk. I really like the smirk. That might be my favorite head scan. But yeah, there is Eddie. So we'll put him right in the middle there. And we'll get him spinning as we get onto Umaga, which this is one of my most anticipated figures. As I've shown you, I have the Elite 40, but this is such an upgrade. So we got the tongue out head scan with the face paint, which I didn't even really touch on. You got the braids / twists. Yeah, really nice. Umaga was so badass. I think he should have been WWE champion in my opinion. Rest in peace to both of these guys. Both sadly not with us anymore. That does not mean they won't be in the Fed, which I've touched on before in a Everything You Need to Know About DFW video, which I suppose I'll leave up here, basically saying that I don't care if people are dead. You know, it's a PIC-FED, it's not real life. And anything that I will do, you know, I'll try not to disrespect them. It's quite a tough one because you feel like you can't have them lose because they're dead, but at the same time, you don't just want to have them win everything because they're dead. You know, you got to find a middle ground. But I think I can do that. These are both guys that I really like, and well, just toppled him there. But yeah, two really nice figures. I'm so glad that we got figures of these guys, especially Ultimate Editions. Nice, very nice flashbacks to the Ruthless Aggression era. As I've said, my favorite era in wrestling. So we got the no shoes of Umaga, just like the ankle support. I don't know what he wore, to be honest. I feel like they're like ankle braces. We got some tattoo detailing there, like the sort of tribal Samoan tattoos going up the left calf. And then we got what looks to be a flower going up the right arm. The right leg, sorry. And then we've got, I think this is such a good formula for him. I think it's a bit bigger than this one, a bit wider, which I think looks a lot better. He is a bit wider in general. I think the Ultimate Edition is wider torso-wise. I think it looks better. This looks a little bit small for Umaga when you compare it to this especially, but when you compare it to him, I think this is a much better formula. You got the black not leggings, tights, sorry, and then the blue Umaga face, which is again a great likeness. Gritted teeth, really nice. And then Umaga up the side, which is basically, well, it is the exact same attire, just in blue instead of red. Then you get the white wrist taped hand, you get the black wrist tape over here. More detail, more tattoo detail onto the arms, shoulders, biceps, back, coming down, and then you have another rose. I'm guessing that's for Rosie. I don't know if that's his brother or how they're related, but they are related somehow. His name wasn't Rosie, was it? I can't remember what his name was. So sorry, Umaga. And then Samoa written across the chest. But yeah, very, very cool figure. He's got the black beaded necklace there, and the incredible expression, as I've already said. So we'll try on the head scans. So you've seen the tongue out head scan already of Umaga, which I've just dropped, but I'll put it back there. Now we're going for, wow, I think all of these are a hit, to be honest. We got the Screaming head scan, which looks really, really good as well. And then finally, what might be my favorite of the three, and I do like a sort of blanker, less emotive head scan, just because, you know, they're easier to use all the time. But there is the gritted teeth. I think that's such a good scan. I really, really like that. So we'll see how he stands up. Is he going to stand okay? He stands really well. That is what you call an upgrade, folks. We'll get another look at Eddie. There is the smile on display before we get into... We'll put that one on last, actually, because that's probably my favourite of the three scans. This one, I don't know if it sits a little bit low on the peg. But here's the sort of laughing / shouting scan, which looks really good as well. Probably my least favourite out of the three, but they all seem pretty high caliber. So, you know, lowest out of the three isn't too bad. This one sits a little bit higher on the neck, but I don't mind that. Which is probably my favourite of the three scans. The little smirk. It's just so Eddie all over. So what I'm going to do next is I think I'm gonna get him on the cowbell. I've just taken his head off though, so I'll put a head back on him, and then I'm gonna get him tied into this. I don't know how what you'd call it, but into this cowbell strap, and then we'll do the same to Umaga. Oh. Nearly broke the light box there. I didn't, actually. It's quite sturdy. Well made. But yeah, this is why you don't do this stuff on camera. Leaning over both a tripod and a microphone does not make it the easiest of jobs in the world. But yeah, here they are. You can see that it stretches basically across the whole ring. I don't know diagonally if it will go across the whole ring. Probably won't, will it? You can see Umaga's in the corner there. Eddie's probably about one length away, you know, if he was laying down. But yeah, that's such a cool accessory. Use the cowbell, you know, you can like choke him out with it, or you can wrap it around him and stuff like that. There's tons of stuff you can do. And then clothesline, big clothesline, or headbutt, you know, never headbutt a Samoan. So really cool accessory there, because it's specific to a moment, of course, but you can use it for so much more than that, especially for PIC-FEDing, which these two guys are definitely going to be a part of my PIC-FEDing plans, and I'm hoping to get the wheels in motion of that very soon. Well, they have been in motion before. Get them back in motion is what I want to say. So I'm just going to try the skirt, the other skirt on this Umaga figure, just to see how it looks, which I think it looks okay. Looks decent. I think that is the way it goes. I don't know how high it's supposed to be, but that's how high I would put it. That's pretty high on the back. Still shows the Samoa tattoo. I think that looks good like that. So I might keep one of them and sell the other one. Sell one complete, or maybe I'll just keep one for displaying it or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, to be honest. But if you are interested in an Elite 40 Umaga, let me know, because I'm willing to part with at least one of them. I don't really need two. I think I just picked one up in a bundle a while back. But yeah, this is how he looks with the skirt on, and we'll put on the best interchangeable hands, in my opinion, or the best combination of interchangeable hands, at least. Obviously, you're going to want the Samoan Spike on there. And if he's going to be doing the Samoan Spike, you're going to want the tongue out head scan, or probably the shouting head scan. But yeah, this is probably early contender for for figure of the year for me. It's probably the best figure I've got this year. But yeah, here's Umaga. I don't know if I can pose him on here, but you know, that's sort of what he's going for. Big Samoan Spike. Oh yeah, he's got the IC title as well, so we'll give him the IC title because he earned it. And we'll sit him. Well, not sit him, but we'll put him back. We'll put him back on the stand. I feel like I've zoomed out quite a lot now. I feel like I've been tricked by how easily he stood at first. But yeah, there we go. Here he is in all his glory. Umaga. Fantastic figure. I really like the look of this. I almost don't know what to say. I just think it's a pretty incredible figure. I think the formula is fantastic. The accessories are really nice, and the head scans are 3 for 3 for me. I really like the Eddie head scans as well. You know, you can really just picture them. I think like they've picked a good group of scans for Umaga. I think you can really see him. You can see him shouting. You can see him with the tongue out. You can see him gritting his teeth. You know, when you imagine Umaga, they're probably the top 3 expressions you imagine. And with Eddie, you can imagine him smiling, him sort of smirking, and you can definitely imagine him with a little laugh. You know, so yeah. I'm just putting this head on. And yeah, he has a cowbell as well, which is obviously gonna get some use out of it as well, the PIC-FED. So while Umaga's spinning that way, let's try and get him stood there. And here they are in all their glory. Umaga and Eddie. 2 fantastic figures. I am so happy with both of these figures. You know, sometimes I just give ratings on figures for no real particular reason. Sometimes I remember to, sometimes I don't. And I always feel like I can't give a 10, right? When, you know, I can't give a 10 out of 10. But if you don't give a 10 out of 10, then what's the reason on it being from a scale from 1 to 10, you know? I think I give Will Ospreay, the Supreme figure, a 10 out of 10. I would be close to giving these two a 10 out of 10. More so the Umaga. I think the Umaga is perfect. I feel like people have had some issues with the Eddie, but to be honest, the only issues I've got are QC issues. Like a few little marks and that, which I can't really complain too much about. These are 2 phenomenal figures. The Umaga is a 10 out of 10 for me. The Eddie, maybe a 9.5, but he's close to a 10. He could maybe have slightly bigger arms and maybe a slightly bigger torso, and the boots be a bit shinier, or like a bit golder. But anyway, really cool. Two great figures. If you haven't got these figures, I very, very highly recommend you go get them because they are phenomenal, in my opinion. A little pun there, because if you remember back to... can't remember when it was, but AJ Styles wore Eddie Guerrero gear not long ago, didn't he? And here's Rey Mysterio. Because, you know, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Fun link there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, leave a like, subscribe, hype the video, comment down below your thoughts on these figures and anything else. And I'll catch you in the next one. Subscribe as well, your post notifications turned on, and then I'll catch you in the next one, because you'll be notified of it and you'll actually know that I've uploaded. See you later.